creativity continue now? The stakes are adding up. I would be surprised if we didn't, to be honest, because it looks like a style of play that Kix is very happy with. But I think this is going to be the perfect match of, I suppose, tried and true stability through the Sorlag, Nyx, Anarchy that we saw nosfa just put an absolute masterclass on earlier on versus Pokelink. And then just massive creativity coming out from Kix. Like you said, right? The Scale Bearer on Blood Run, which was amazing. And Blood Run's the first map, so we might even see that again right off the bat. Oh, we're about to find out. Did crazy amounts of work. He had the Blaskovich there all the time, and even tried out Sorlag as well. So he definitely has tried multiple champions, and looks like he will be wasting no time and going straight in with the Galactic Warlord himself. I'm so excited to see this. I mean, so last time Scale Bearer was a final pick, you know, it was the third pick. So it kind of took us by surprise a little bit. I think it took a lot of people by surprise. Is it potentially that last map we saw him use Scale Bearer, you know, when he fought? Did it go so well, he's now got the utmost confidence that the reason he's picked this champion is going to work again? You know, is he going to go for those same strats? Because it just gave him a fantastic start. Very risky to contest that starting shotgun and bull rush combination if you both start close to Mega and you both go for it. Maybe. I think it's a good... Regardless, I think if he puts his Scale Bearer first, like we saw him do, I think it was every round he put Scale Bearer up front. And it was that aggression, right? It was if he got a spawn near Mega, he'd go straight to Mega with the charge, or the bull rush. Sorry, I should say. Looks like he's actually got... No, it's just warm up, of course. Never mind. I'm about to say he spawned near it again, but dummy. Not quite just yet. But it looks like if this is anything to go by, it's probably going to be Sorlag versus Scale Bearer, and this is two very tanky champions, but this is definitely the buffed versus the nerfed. Sorlag have received that damage reduction off the damage over time, the delay between when she can spit and then fire again, and then Scale Bearer having that nice little armor upgrade, putting him up to 100 armor as well as that 150 health, means he is a tanky champion to deal with, especially when he's running at full speed ahead. But to be honest with you, I think that's why if we see Sorlag first, that's going to be nosfa understanding kind of why Kix has gone in with this pick in mind. If he's going to go for a really good start and he's gone for the starting shotgun, there's the bull rush immediately. This is the same start, but no, didn't quite beat him to the point and took a ton of damage. nosfa ready and waiting. Oh, but nosfa went through with the Ghost Walk activated. That was such a good decision, Kix. He knew he was super low on health, so he decided to turn around, wait with the Gauntlet to try and do as much damage as possible to maybe just cheese out the 1v1, but nosfa went in with the Ghost Walk, ready for that option. That was perfectly played by nosfa, and he does take that first champion down with complete ease. So essentially, that was nosfa being completely prepared for that start. He saw Scale Bearer first, he knew what the play was going to be, that exact play happened, but because he simply got the Mega first, Kix was nowhere near able to dedicate as much. And oh, that little wall jump. Shot him in the face, just straight up in the face. It was just the wall jump, you know, just to get the extra elevation, to get the angle that nosfa needed. And he's got a good spawn here too. Doesn't get the rail, so now he's going to be forced to run away. That Ghost Walk available, he's going to have that escape mechanism. Oh, he's being aggressive. Oh, decides not to chase at the last second, but gets a lot of damage on Kix's visor, who also doesn't have the piercing sight up, so it's going to be a while. Oh, going for that Mega. So risky. Yeah. So risky. Oh! Can react to this, it'll be alright, but no. Misses the rail, gives Kix a few moments to just sort of get in, sneak away that Mega health. I don't think we're going to see Kix go for that start again. Maybe if he spawns a little bit closer to Mega, it might have been sides. When we last saw that bull rush strat worked, it was actually when, oh, he's peeking. It was when he was on nosfa's side, it worked out a little bit closer. The fact that he's finishing with a shotgun though, does that mean that's the only weapon he has? Tri-bolt with a shotgun perhaps? If that is true, that is not a nice combination for Kix actually, because nosfa's had a really good level of control just over the middle of this map. And obviously that's right where the rail is. If he's keeping that away from visor in particular, that's going to be something that he doesn't really want to have to deal with for sure. Got himself up some heavy armor that's going to help him sort of keep this momentum in the lead. Getting that health and armor will be super useful. And here we go. Visor doesn't have any way to get out of a fight like this, and that is going to be a clean 1v1. And nosfa taking a very good first round. Now I'm very interested to see what the start's going to be. We'll hang tight and we'll see what the start's going to involve here. But he might still start with Scale Bearer, he just might be as aggressive immediately off the get-go. So he's going to keep with the Scale Bearer start again. No, he did the exact same thing again. I think this time though he actually committed to here he comes health, just to make sure he got the actual pickup first. Already has a lightning gun as well, and nosfa in big trouble. Yeah, there's no way he's going to go for that heavy. That's guaranteed death. I feel like even if he didn't get a frag there, Kix got, you know, the Mega. He was able to sort of deny the Mega, get damage on the board.
Even if he got no frag, that was a good start for Kicks, and sticking to his guns too. I think a big part of that might come from actual spawn positioning.
Ooh. Oh wow, and there we go, an immediate rail. The bull rush wasn't going to be there just enough this time, but he has still got hold of it. Didn't even need it to finish off nosfa's Nyx, and now he's got to have a full damage bull rush for this Solag if he can place it. Solag a much bigger target. Doesn't, I suppose, duke around it quite as easily. And especially while he's low on armor. Not a lot of armor to soak up the raw damage from it. And he is on the floor now. Oh, but no! A quick swap to the railgun will do more than enough damage to take down the scale bearer. But now straight in with the Blaskovic, just trying to get that out damage in the 1v1, I think.
I feel like it was a very sort of bold play to go head first into the sheer amount of super nails that were being shot forward there. I actually wonder why he went face first into all of that damage. I know he had the bull rush for the damage mitigation perhaps, but he didn't use it at all. He wanted to go in for the LG, but he just walked into guaranteed death.
For to have a rail to swap to be fair. A big part of it is, you know, especially Kicks, he seems to like pay attention to where you spawned and knows, okay, well, what weapon is he likely to attack me with here? Oh, but not missing these rails, 2 for 2. And Kicks barely left alive.
nosfa's rails in general today have been very good. Very, very impressive. He didn't see him. Oh, that slight delay as well.
Oh no, nosfa's favor, dual wield, and he's just, oh no, doesn't quite get enough damage on the table, and an acid spit will take down BJ Blaskovic. And now again, Visor left alone against at least 2 this time, so not quite as stacked against him, but definitely still not in his favor.
Fresh off the spawn, he's not going to quite have the equipment he wants to maximize that piercing. So he popped it off the spawn to make sure he wasn't going to get rushed immediately, I think. But while he hasn't got that down for quite a while now, and then nosfa with, what, 4 seconds away from the acid spit. If he can just dodge a couple more of these rockets, which he's doing a good job, doesn't even need the acid spit. Just needs one good rail, and that's going to do the job. 2 rounds.
That's one thing that nosfa's been doing that has just been incredible time after time, is just in the middle of like a 1v1 between 2 LGs or 2 rockets, his ability to just swap to the rail and hit that perfect final shot when he realizes that, okay, right, with the amount of damage I've currently done, you are very likely not going to have enough health to survive this rail. And he's landing that rail every time. If he swaps to it and misses, so much more dangerous. And obviously a big knock to the confidence, but he's hitting it every time.
This little chunk of damage. With that rail, it's going to really allow nosfa actually to sort of stand his ground. Unfortunately, did eat a rail for his treble there.
At least it's a bit more of a stable start, right? It's kind of seems weird that because we're now 40 seconds into a round, we haven't seen a kill. It's like, oh, a slower start. Normally it's the exact opposite.
A bit of a break from the norm.
Indeed, but the heavy armor getting secured anyway. nosfa doing well for that, but that's a big life bar of health that Kicks is holding onto a scale bearer. Actually, I can imagine the tribal. I mean, in theory, is that going to be a lot better of an option versus big body champions now with a 50 damage per hit and them being bigger targets?
Well, the tri-bolt was always a weapon that you would sort of spam corridors with. You'd sort of go for that area denial, keeping that distance away from certain people. Wow, he's going in! I mean...
Choo-choo! The big train's coming through, and he was scoped in. He saw every second of that.
I mean, he was always going to do that.
Perfect detail, high resolution.
Right before he died, he got a perfect shot of Scalebearer's eyelashes. I mean, like, there was no... I don't know why he just stood there and took it, to be honest.
He may have expected to just out-damage him, right?
Or the teleporter, perhaps.
Just, you know, survive, but it wasn't meant to be. So that was probably one of the most satisfying-looking frags I think we've seen all day.
It was one of the most clean. We saw the whole thing from start to finish, but...
Still, though, definitely not going to be counting him out. We've seen nosfa with the Solag do a lot of work already.
Oh no, he's going to be slightly vulnerable. That missed rail is going to put him in a very unfortunate spot.
And look at that though, even though he hit that rail, he hit the bull rush at the minimum damage and then hit a bunch more lightning gun to follow up, and he still had 105 health left after it. Because he had so much armor to just sponge up all that damage, I think bull rush just isn't as attractive of an option when your opponent has armor, because it's just, it soaks up so much of it.
Kicks just, the second he jumped down there was nothing he could do.
I don't think he was expecting nosfa to still be down there waiting, and unfortunately kind of just fell into the jaws of Solag. And nosfa though, being Kicks, being stuck here with Visor, is actually still going to win that 1v1. Not a lot of health left to go at all. If nosfa can catch him early with Doomslayer, he'll be a lot better off, but has already topped himself back up to 160. That could have been the round for nosfa, and actually would have been the map too. But Not going to happen yet.
This is how you stay alive. You know, you've got to prevent that 3-0. But Kix, he's having to work so hard. But we've seen a couple of really good super nail gun kills today. Just been, you know, almost every single shot has been connecting, and that's what you want, super nail gun. Seeing as it's deceivingly hard actually to hit multiple shots in succession.
In the same situation, whereas before we'd just see like a lot, like a big wave of nails coming through. We're actually seeing a lot of Tri-Bolt favoured in the same situation. He's like 50 damage, a lot of damage on Kix here. He has no choice but to get away.
I wonder if nosfa's going to chase it. He has been known today, especially, to chase in situations where most players wouldn't. They're quite weak and they'd normally try and sort of like hide back there and... Oh no! He's now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Oh.
Yeah, trying to get through, almost took all that damage, but was able to survive. There's the piercing sight. What does he do with this? Does he use it to stay safe, pick up, or looks like he's fitting to a bit of a fight,
he's only hit one nail in that entire exchange. That's not good.
He took a lot of damage himself in the process also. More of an even exchange this time, nosfa. Looks like he's got a slight life advantage, but obviously Kix having the armor is going to be very important. Not too close to either of the spawns.
Yeah, it's quite a while away between the Mega. As you can see, that's slowly going down now. nosfa's sort of just kind of bullying him away, right?
What he's going for, and again, that defensive piercing sight, we're not seeing him use this aggressively, if at all, really, outside of catching someone on spawn. But it's working out for him, you know, it's definitely that pace. It's what we saw from Kix before, really slowing it down with Visor.
The problem is that he's been able to survive, but while he's doing that and he's able to see where nosfa is, it hasn't really prevented nosfa from controlling the entire center of that map. And if that is the area that you control all the time, they've got very similar health and armor. Very, very, very similar health and armor does Doomslayer.
But the problem they're going to have when they start to fight is Doomslayer has the Berserk to get out of a fight or get that maybe final chunk of damage with that Berserk punch. But Visor, if you start fighting Visor, he just kind of doesn't really have anything to help him in a fight, aside from just the movement speed, which isn't going to help you in just a straight up point blank 1v1.
Oh, and that is exactly why we didn't see Kix go for the rail at any point. The reason we didn't see him go for a rail in those situations is because the second he went for it to maximize his piercing sight and to try and get himself back into the fight, because you could clearly see that Doomslayer getting the Mega and getting the Heavy all the time, we're staying super stacked. If you can catch him with a couple of rails before the fight happens, you're obviously going to undo some of that work. But you saw that entire time, Kix did not have a rail at any point, and that was why we could clearly see control being kept in the middle of the map. Was because if you're able to keep Kix away from the rail, he can't get that really important piece of equipment he needs to try and survive. And the second he went for it, he took 3 rails in a row and died. And that was it.
I actually wonder if that's going to become an even more important thing now than we saw before in duels. And I think it's very safe to say that always taking weapons away and ammo boxes and stuff from your opponents was always important to deny them coming back and making sure you're controlling the map. But now when you pick up a weapon, it has so much less initially when you first get it. In situations like that, when you are against a Visor that needs a rail, has the piercing sight, needs a rail to make the most of that, and even if he manages to pick one up, he's got so much less ammo with it than he had before. Do you think it's just going to become even more important to stop that?
I think so. But I think the way nosfa's been playing today, it's quite scary to deal with. Like, knowing that he's not afraid to dedicate to a fight when most players would otherwise retreat from a situation, where if they've not got a lot of health, even if they could technically maybe try and fight for it and get the frag anyway, a lot of players, they won't take that risk. They won't put themselves in that situation. They'll just try and take the fight later. Pretty much the entire day when nosfa gets the damage, even if he himself is weak, he has gone straight in there. If you're against that kind of opponent this late on in the tournament, I think that's going to be quite stressful to fight off against. The map's been changed to Blood Covenant, and this is the maps we saw Kix pretty much, I think, display the highest amount of dominance we saw him on any map, and it came from essentially Visor first.
Yeah.
At the same time, we saw Scalebearer do loads of work on Blood Run, and that was kind of swiftly dealt with by nosfa, who was just ready. I wonder if we're going to see the same kind of thing on Blood Covenant. No, it's not going to be as much of a matter of being ready for Kix's Visor and just simply dealing with it, because Visor, it's not just like a good start situation. He uses it pretty much the entire map, so it's not going to be the easiest thing to shut down as such, but nosfa's going to be prepared.
But this would have been the map choice that Kix went for, though, and the fact that his Visor did so much work by itself, I think we're probably going to see the Visor again, I think, is a safe bet. The Blaskovic seems to also be something that Kix doesn't really ever want to swap around. It is that third champion, that third selection that he seems to want to swap around. And whether it's map dependent or whether it's player dependent or how he's feeling at the time, I guess we'll find out soon. Last time we saw him in Blood Covenant, I believe he went with, I believe it was Anarchy as his third one. We never actually got to see it because he never got taken down to it. And then on Corrupted Keep, he went to Sorlag, and then it was, like you said, Blood Run, we saw the Scale Bearer. Whether we see the Scale Bearer again on Blood Covenant, I don't know. This is the same map we saw Toxic try Scale Bearer on before and last week, and unfortunately that didn't go very well either. So whether it's a weak map for Scale Bearer, I don't know if it's safe to say that. I think it clearly shows the problem Scale Bearer can have competitively, but at the same time, you know, we also saw this work very well. I think a big part of it is Kix is just kind of getting outsmarted in a lot of these 1v1 situations, especially with how he's jumping down to a position that he kind of doesn't really want to put himself in.
So the all-important champion select. I think it's very, very prominent for Kix because he's expressed a lot of creativity throughout the course of the day. But now he's one map down.
Now. And even if he does lose this, he is still going to be in the lower bracket, so he still is going to have a chance. But
there's the Visor first.
Obviously, has won a lot of games to be here, and dropping down to losers now would not be ideal.
Yeah, so the Visor and the Blaskovic, he's gone in for that twice now. So this third pick could be vital. He hasn't got a lot of mobility with these two champions so far. You know, those jumps. He's going up against Nyx, for example. Nyx will basically be able to make whatever jump that she wants to make on this map. This final champion for Kix is going to be very important, but he goes Scale Bearer. Has actually, in fact, sacrificed a lot of mobility, and it's something that you don't really see every day. He's given up a lot of mobility on Blood Covenant, which is normally a map where you want to make sure you can go anywhere at all times, especially dominating like that high ground portion where you've got a lot of the major pickups on that same sort of top area of the map. All three of the champions that we've actually seen Kix go for will kind of struggle to freely maneuver around the top of that map. I'll be quite interested to see how this turns out.
But at the same time, we saw Kix play a lot of the game from sort of the bottom to the first floor last time he was on Blood Covenant. So there definitely is a position on the map he's happy to play from, it seems. And especially if he has his Visor alive and his Visor is able to keep that distance between the piercing sight. And we actually said this before, that I think a big part of Kix's Visor sort of control comes down to whether he gets that first frag or not. Because if he has the champion lead, he can afford to just play things as slow as he wants and really try and bait you into a situation, which is what we saw him do with Visor before. The problem is he's not really getting that first frag, and even in the warm-up he's going with Scale Bearer first. So should he go with Scale Bearer first again, I mean, we're just going to have to see a different style from Kix, I think, than we saw last time.
Well, we are moments away from seeing that style. This could potentially be the final map for nosfa. He's doing really well today, and players have been saying that he's one of the players to watch out for, and this is a match to get into the winner's qualification match, so it's very important indeed. And Kix is on the back foot, definitely one map down.
Also, I don't think we can really ignore the fact that nosfa's gone for that Ranger as well, which is such a good answer for the bigger champions like Scale Bearer, right? The Dire Orb, even if he's using his Bull Rush just to, I suppose, first things first, avoid it, but also do that damage to him on impact, and maybe even still one-shot him with the Telefrag. It's easier said than done, but we have seen it a bunch already.
There's one thing about Visor. He is particularly loud as he moves around the map. Those footprint sounds quite distinct.
Oh, he's going to pick up the Mega Health at least. You know, he's going to be happy with that. Oh, can still see him down there. I don't know if nosfa quite expected him to still be down there for that long.
The danger nosfa knows he's likely to encounter here is at any moment Kix could pop that piercing sight. So he's going to have to be on edge pretty much at all times. At any moment, he could walk around a corner and just eat a rail. As you can clearly see, Kix has just popped it too, and he's looking in that direction. He knows where he's likely to be. But he's a bit late on the rocket, yeah.
Yeah, he got a free rocket for seeing where he was and to finish off. And there's the aggression, the Ghost Walk. Is he going to chase it? Too sure. He's not going to be too eager to.
He'd rather take the Mega instead, I think.
Looks like it, and he is going to do just that. Heavy Armor going to be following up in a handful of seconds. You can see Kix already over there waiting. Oh, he's there. You see him? Oh,
that was a tasty shot.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. A lot of damage, and there we go. Quick follow-up of the Lightning Gun. nosfa just using the perfect weapon at the perfect time, every time.
Fresh off the spawn, and you know he's going to chase that one. Or maybe actually keep him behind. Yeah, the Mega's just about to spawn, so it makes sense that he takes a little bit of a step back.
Uh-oh. Still, though, that's a lot of damage. Missed one rail, but could just LG to finish off. Some health getting picked up. He doesn't want to go down there. It is a dual-wielding Blaskovic.
Oh,
who
no.
goes up, kicks, uses the jump pad, and unfortunately signs his own death warrant in the process. I actually like that patience from nosfa, though. Like, in theory, nosfa could have just ran down with the lightning gun and tried to finish him off, but that was a BJ Blaskovic. Even if he is massively down on life, he can still pop dual wield with a lightning gun and delete you from existence.
I'm very surprised to see him go up that jump pad. I really do. I mean, like, nosfa was clearly up there. But I don't know. It might have just been a temporary slip of the mind or just a mistake nonetheless. That's going to be punished very heavily.
It's going to be a big rail connecting for nosfa to get rid of that health. There's that Ghost Walk, trading out for out. Oh, he's going for the telefrag, didn't get it. And unfortunately put himself point blank.
But he's still alive.
Still able to survive at least. That is huge for nosfa.
Very surprised to see him survive that one, but went in for the telefrag, bet it all in. Would have been an instant kill for sure. But the important thing is that he still has maintained, and not only has he survived, he's got overcharged health and armor.
If
I
he
mean,
has
that
more
was great.
health and armor than Kix does right now on that scale bearer.
That's a win-win for sure.
That's not a situation you'll find yourself in often as a Nyx versus scale bearer. It's one of those things that Kix is going to be struggling with. We can see nosfa just navigating his way to this top floor, cycling around the rocket launcher, the mega health, the railgun. And that's just not the same movement that Kix is going to have the option to do himself. Reflected again. In between now, Kix has very much stacked up as much as he can and is a very healthy scale bearer now.
I think he's going to be able to use that Ghost Walk aggressively right now. As you can see, nosfa's got a whole bunch of health still and max armor. He can take a lot of punishment. As long as Kix is missing those rails too. So he can kind of afford to make that aggressive play because he has a nice chunk of health and armor.
How much longer? We're about to go to the 1 minute warning. You can see that Kix is in not a very desirable situation here. Oh, we're still there, and a suicide! Big mistake coming out from nosfa, and now 1 minute. Kix has less than 1 minute to take out Sorlag, otherwise he will lose on timeout. But the time is quickly ticking away.
It's a bit of a funny exchange there, actually. The second 1 minute warming, I think nosfa, I'm fairly positive he had his Ghost Walk there, but I think he just opted not to use it. Maybe saved it until he was potentially weaker, but it was too little too late. Very important that he used the bull rush there.
Yeah, if he didn't get the damage reduction from the bull rush, he would have died to the lingering after effects of the acid for sure. That makes you wonder, do we think nosfa's just going to try and avoid him? Oh no, misses a jump! Can't afford making mistakes like that when you have seconds.
Yeah. When you're like 30 seconds behind, the 2-3 seconds you waste to mess up a jump pad is the 3 seconds that you're definitely going to want. As you can see here, the clock is ticking. Can he finish it? Oh, he's going in, but he's still alive!
He has a lot of health, this could be good. Oh, he jumps behind him! Oh! But a clutch railgun hit from Kix. Now, he got the frag, but all that's done is even it out. Look at how weak he is. If nosfa can find him soon, he will be able to take him out. But the mega health is going to be up in just a few seconds. We might see a full comeback in this round from scale bearer.
But you know, he almost regretted wasting those 2 or 3 seconds on that jump pad.
Nearly.
He was 1 second away, but you saw just how much damage that Galactic Warlord just walked in front of. Like, it was weapons and acid spit all over the place, and he still had like over 100 health by the time he hit the charge.
Big rail, though. That's a good hit for Kix. nosfa was in commanding control of this entire round, but has very quickly just disappeared. Unfortunately, missing the bull rush completely.
Quite a generous cooldown, so I think you can afford to use it now and then, but hang on. He's being very aggressive here. Oh no! nosfa wasn't ready.
He has the mega health, but that's his last lifeline. That's going to get. Uses the jump pad. He's very weak now. The dire orb opts not to teleport to it. Misses another rail. That's 2 opportunities nosfa had to end the round.
Holy moly. This is still round 1 as well. Like, this could totally actually go in Kix's favor.
He has the heavy armor. That's bad news for nosfa.
He's got the super shotgun. I think that was just in case he hit a charge down there.
Speaking of which, he does have the bull rush. Oh, hit another rail too, but trading it out blow for blow. Oh, big miss from Kix. Which means that mega health is still there.
It's allowing nosfa to press that advantage. You know, he was able to sort of move a little bit forward. A little bit more willingly as well, knowing that he's less likely to just walk into absolute death after that rail, losing the mega too. But he's still got a hold of it, which is going to be very important for the next fight, no doubt. But there you go. The fact that Scalebearer already had really good health, and it was the armor that somewhat held him back in comparison to some of the large champions. Now that's been somewhat sorted out. When he gets the heavy, look at that stack.
It's a considerable amount going into the more of his sudden death, but also means he can afford to use quite a lot of it to get around.
Oh, the positioning!
He's fallen down. This is bad for Kicks. One more shot is all it's going to take. He's being chased too. nosfa wants to end it right here, right now. The rush is going to get him away safely. Heavy armor is the choice.
That one missed rail might allow him to escape, but he's still walking into LG! He lost a lot of time on that dire orb, and that was uncontested damage. nosfa now, funnily enough, is the one in trouble, and the cat and mouse game continues. Oh, no, he survived because he got the mega!
By barely any health whatsoever, and now it's Kicks that's in a bad situation down here, stuck. 14 health, they're both so low.
This is one of the most insane fights, and nosfa is not interested in taking it. He tries to back off. Does he decide to stay there?
He has a bull rush, but not enough health for it to work. Will really make a big difference.
That was insane. This has been such a crazy back and forth. One of the craziest rounds we have seen on Dreamhack so far. Definitely.
They're just constantly getting so low, but just aren't quite able to just deliver the coup de grace and get that final blow. They just haven't been able to do it. But they're getting close. Problem is they're both getting close.
Not
every
close
fight.
enough. After all that, we're still 3 minutes into this sudden death. This is only round 1.
I know, right? This is as long as some of our games have been today.
Well, some of nosfa's games, right?
Not even joking. Yeah, Scalebearer. Now he is stuck below here. Nowhere left to run. But no! nosfa doesn't want to take the fight either. The heavy armor gets picked up by Kicks, and he misses another rail.
If Kicks missed that first rail, he would already be dead. He would already be dead. These rails are absolutely pivotal. But he walks into him!
Oh my lord, that prediction rocket from nosfa. Both players are playing so good under this immense pressure. Wrong weapon. Oh! Didn't have the rail get out. That could have been it for sure. We had the rocket launcher equipped.
Oh, and it misses again!
That miss. Oh, you know, nosfa's kicking himself for that one.
But you see nosfa, oh, he didn't have, Kicks did not have time to hang out near the heavy armor, but he dedicates anyway. I think he must see that he has no choice. The rail misses again! And he collects the heavy.
He has the heavy armor. nosfa's running out of places to move. The lightning gun doing deceiving damage. Does he fight? Does he run again?
This is ridiculous.
They both disengage for another time.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, that hurt a lot, but again, not enough to kill. Oh, big British rocket.
This could be it.
One more hit. He's a big body. This could be the final shot. Oh, but he went for the rocket instead.
But he still took so much damage to do that. On the brink of death, Kicks remains.
How is this happening? How are we still going?
It's like you say yourself, right? It's the ability to finish it that both these guys have not been able to establish just yet. This is almost a 5-minute overtime. Oh my days.
Just for comparison, 5 minutes is when the actual round's overtime will trigger. Oh boy. Here we go.
Oh. I mean, he's not going to be able to take that mega now. It's going to be too risky. That one rocket has kept him bullied away long enough.
But the patience to decide to not go for it as well. He by all means could have just decided to get impatient and go for it anyway, but only one rocket left on the side of Kicks. Could be a big deal considering he's actually not near the rocket launcher. He might be near a box, but I think
they were so far away from both those pickups. I wonder if they're actually both aware of the exact respawn time of either of those pickups. They were pretty much, you know, the entire map apart when they collected those two items. So are they going to be completely aware when the mega comes back or when the heavy comes back? Bang on the second? I'm not sure.
Not sure, but this is a very beefy Scalebearer again. Managed to get himself back up to full. It's crucial for him considering how these exchanges have gone.
Mega has been able to spawn in that time. So Ranger just as chunky, to be honest. Oh, that was so sick, that rail.
There's the aggression. A lot of damage coming through. Kicks has to be careful now. Stuck to the bottom. Oh, that rail. The damage mitigated by the bull rush. The only reason he's still alive, but he gets caught around the corner, and that is going to be it after 6 minutes of overtime. Round 1 is over.
To fight.
It's quite funny, really, how the entire time nosfa today has had an amazing ability to acknowledge when a kill is pretty much guaranteed, and he's dedicated and chased it down to the end.
Fight.
It took him 10 minutes to finally get that one exchange. You know, he's been doing it the entire day, but against Kicks in that one round, it took him way longer than it normally did, but he did get it in the end.
Kicks, though, going back to Scalebearer now to start things off, and now, again, nosfa back up with this next. We haven't seen before for a little while now. Obviously, that was quite a long round of Ranger versus Scalebearer, so I haven't actually had the chance to see nosfa's other champions in a little while. Oh, still there with the gauntlet out too. I wonder what Kix was doing there.
Well, assumingly, if he jumps down towards the armor, he was going to be able to get the up-close charge and then the gauntlet, and that would have been a damage that, even with that, the armor and health, Nyx would have not really enjoyed taking that damage at all. And, oh, lovely little combo there from nosfa.
That's a clean finish. A lot of damage. That's one of those things that nosfa has just been doing really well at the moment, is just looking out for those damage numbers. And as soon as he can see you're low enough, he will just quickly swap to that rail, finish you off. He's done that over and over and over again. And I assume we'll be seeing a lot more of that before the day is out.
Fight for the mega.
Oh, missing the mega health is going to be big for nosfa, but actually looks like someone wants to fight. Misses a crucial rail on Kix, unfortunately, and he is still alive.
I like this idea that he was still able to fight for it because he did have his Ghost Walk available. So even if he didn't get the mega, he could maybe get a good rocket, undo the mega, and then go into his Ghost Walk and chase it down, as he did try to do. But didn't quite go to plan.
Oh, this isn't a good situation for nosfa, but does Kix chase it? He's thinking about it, he's trying. Almost runs into a rocket on the way, though. He decides to be careful, I think.
Oh, fantastic shot. And now he can be the aggressor, the unchallenged LG. From the shadows, indeed. Very well played. I feel like Nyx clearly complements the way nosfa likes to play the game, too. Like, he's very aggressive, takes his kills when he can get them. Nyx will only ever let you do that better. If it doesn't go right, you can pop the invisibility and save yourself. But
also
if it goes well...
It's his decision-making on what weapon to use at the right time. So when he knows he's not winning the fight, when he knows he is starting it down on life, he seems to always favor starting with a rocket launch just to get that big chunk of damage to even things out before he will then swap to the LG to just try and out 1v1 you. He's consistently working out for it. There we go, nice quick rail.
His rails have been sublime.
Oh, but a nice Ghost Walk, just keeping him alive.
That was good positioning from both players, in fact. How he used the Ghost Walk to survive, and then Kix, during his missed rail, decided to go through the teleporter. Nice awareness from both players.
Still though, it's going to mean that heavy armor is going to still be there. If Kix is here trying to fight, nosfa go straight towards it.
Yeah, he's aware that that's likely to be the next play. I think maybe thought maybe catch him as he comes around the corner, but he has already collected the
he jumps down. That could be really problematic for Kix. Oh, and nowhere left to go. That is going to be it. Round 2, and it brings match point to nosfa.
Quite a change in round times there from the first round that we saw.
Yes, indeed. But again, that's, if you can get rid of that scale barrier, you can get that champion lead, and also, again, just be more accurate. Don't miss those crucial shots. I mean, as nail-biting as that 6-minute overtime was, it was down to a lot of players, both players, kind of missing a lot of those crucial rails in the last minute.
And it's little things like this. I don't think we can ignore the difference in mobility. nosfa is able to go wherever he wants, whenever he wants, without any issues. The issue that Kix has been having is none of his champions are able to quickly make those bridge to rail jumps, or
if they do, he needs to use rockets to do it and hurt himself in the process.
Exactly.
And have less rockets overall.
Oh, exactly. I mean, he's able to make those jumps, but not for free. It's going to cost him something, be it ammo, health.
He's going to know that the dual wheel wasn't popped. Oh, wow. Narrowly surviving.
I think the plan there was to use the Ghost Walk as a chance to get the heavy for free. Unfortunately, he did take a rail anyway.
But with the aggressiveness, he's going to only sit 2. I bet he doubled back. Kix with the next level stuff. Good read. Keep himself alive. That's going to be armor into mega health, most likely. He can get himself an LG in the process. There we go. Now he has one. That's going to be very dangerous. Still looking out for Kix. Just missing a rail, so Kix is likely to know where he is, but heavy armor secured. Just haven't seen this Blazkowicz be able to do really as much damage as we saw it before. Still weighing out though, and it's still even on champions. I mean, this is a situation that Kix can't afford to be too reckless. It's down 2 rounds clean.
Yeah, when you have this much of a deficit, and to remind the guys at home, this is not a qualification match as such, but it's to get into the qualification match. These guys are getting one step closer, qualifying for Dreamhack Winter. There's a lot of money on the line at that tournament. These guys, they're not going to want to make too many mistakes. Those plays that might not send you to the LAN, you'll regret them for a long time.
Indeed, but there you go. There's the aggression. He's doubling back. He's looking for the fight. nosfa looks content on giving it to him. Really nice, clean rail there.
These rails, non-stop, have been super good.
Been good for him for sure. Jumps down. Did nosfa actually catch a glimpse? Oh my lord, look how low he is now. Still underground though. Is he hanging around?
He's got Ghost Walk, so now he can be aggressive. He'll have to somewhat change his path just to take those hourglasses, I think, into account. If there was a fight down there, clearly he would have had the tools to win it.
The problem is though, the longer this round goes on, the more careful Kix plays, the more reluctant he is to take fights. I mean, if we get close to that 5 minutes and he loses one character, he is still going to lose. Uh-oh. Oh, another rail.
Even with that heavy. Oh, surprised that one missed. Yeah, just switches to the LG. No need to really overcomplicate it at that range. He knows he has enough damage required to win that one.
Right, so it looks like running away won't be an option for nosfa. So obviously the piercing sight comes into play, but oh no! The rocket jump and will die immediately because of it.
That's
a costly mistake.
Yeah, you hate to see a frag go that way. We try and go for an escape. You know he tried to rocket jump up there, but he just fumbled it.
And there's no way Visor would be able to follow either. That would have been a good option, but was not meant to be this time. But looking to guard this lightning gun. I like the strategy. We see players do this quite a lot last week too, knowing that the lightning gun being that very just incredible 1v1 tool. And this is the only spot you can get one on the map. Question is, how long is he willing to wait here? You can see that nosfa's nowhere near.
Oh, that was 100. He was very patient. But whenever we see kicks behind a Visor, that really is the playstyle that he adapts, isn't it? Complete patience.
As we see, probably he's kind of like evened out here more so.
Oh no.
Big rail.
Oh
he's
no.
The kill. No, Kix just accidentally got a little bit too aggressive. I think he maybe have expected nosfa to not chase that, but as soon as nosfa turned around, it was too late for Kix to move, and this is still match point. Kix only has Scale Bearer left.
And even though Kix spawned near that heavy armor, he knew he wasn't going to be able to fight for it. Puts 1 foot outline near the heavy, and it's going to be guaranteed death. Does miss the rail, but he gets the dire off.
Doesn't go far enough, but doesn't matter because Kix is nowhere near intending on hanging around long enough to finish that fight.
I feel like I could have gone really, really bad, but...
Oh, he has them. The ball rush isn't there either. See a rocket jump up top. Looks like Kix is hanging around up there. He has him. Oh, that is bad situation to be in.
And he has the champion lead too.
Yeah,
if you've got this much health, how do you take this back? I mean, I don't think it's possible. I'm willing to call this one game over.
3 seconds. Ranger has Dire Orb. That's probably going to be it. That will be the game. And nosfa advances onto the qualification game. Winner's side as well, no less.